Channel 7. This is Friday Night Football.
Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Week 6 of Friday Night Football. The season is flying by. We're going to start out in Class 5A tonight, defending state champion Rocky Mountain, trying to keep the ball rolling against Timberline tonight. Gorgeous night for some football here in the Treasure Valley. We pick things up in the first half. Rocky quarterback Colby Jackson rolling right, finds Ty Tanner, T-squared in the back of the end zone. 14-0 Grizz out in front. After a stop, back to work and back to the air. Kobe War swinging it out wide to Jordan Erickson for the nice gain. But the drive would stall out thanks to this play. Wolves defense stepping up on this drive as well as all night long, coming up with a big sack there. Rocky says 2 can play this sack game. Ryan Douglas coming up on the backer blitz up the A-gap for the big loss. Timberline battles hard all night, but in the end it's Rocky that takes this one. 21-0 the final. The Grizz improved to 6-0 on the season. Eagle hitting the road at Boise this evening. Beautiful night for some football over at DLP. We pick things up in the first. Ben Ford Mustang coming at you, the truck stick. He's fun to watch. 7-zip Mustangs out in front in the first quarter. After a stop, it's back to work. A little bit of a nifty RPO. Late pitch to Cannon Morgan. Cannon into the end zone. 14-0 Eagle out in front. Still in the first quarter. Defense comes to play tonight for Eagle as well. Luke Chapman, D-backs. That's why you practice the tit drill all week in practice. Comes up with the one-handed pick. And then look at the effort here to get back inside the end zone, taking it all the way back to the house for a pick six. A penalty would negate the return, but that's okay because the Mustangs offense says no worries, we'll take care of it. Charlie Baker takes it in for the score. Eagle rolls tonight over Boise, 63-14 the final. Let's head on over to Centennial. The Patriots hosting Meridian this evening. We pick things up in the second. Patriots quarterback Keon Horton. He's a blast to watch. The southpaw, just a sophomore. Uncorks this one to Luke Shabbat for the big gain. Gets behind the defense. However, that drive would stall out. Meridian up 14-3. At the break, we move to the third. Patriots offense gets it going. Horton over the middle to his big tight end, Caden Pridgeon, for the big gain. Nice effort from the junior to move the chains. Later in the drive, this is Tristan Martinez. He finishes it off with a tough rushing score up the gut. 14-10, Meridian hanging on to that lead after a stop. Patriots back to the air, back on the attack, until Meridian's Dre Fisher comes up with a big interception to halt Centennial's momentum, and the Warriors capitalize on the turnover. Chase Black carries it across for the tutty. 35-10, the Warriors pick up the road win over Centennial. Mountain View going on the road tonight, taking on Skyview. Look at the Mavs, all white unis. Big fan of those. Pick things up first quarter. Quarterback Jake Ferris over the middle on the slant. Connects with Caden Chan for the touchdown. 6-zip Mountain View out in front. Later in the first quarter, Ferris just handing it off here to Colby Pugh. He takes it in for the score. All Mountain View tonight on the road. 57-10. The Mavs take this one. Let's head down to Class 4A. A monster showdown tonight over at Vallivue. The Falcons hosting top-ranked team in the state, Kuna. Pick things up second quarter. 4th down for Kuna, trying to move the chains. But the Vallivue defense comes up with a big stop, swarming Sean Austin. Second quarter, next Vallivue drive, they would capitalize on the defense momentum. Eventually, we stick with it. We find Land Larison keeps it himself for the score. The UC Davis commit ties things at 14 apiece. Later in the second, Kuna ball. They go back to the air, back to work. Sean Alston to Colton Teeter for the gain of 20. Later that drive, Austin hits Teeter again. This time, it's reservations are for 6. Cavemen go ahead 21-14. After a stop, back to the air. This time, though, Austin lays it up, and it's picked off. The Vallivue defense coming up with a big stop there. but the Kuna defense had a stop of their own. They get it back to the offense, and right before halftime, look at the magician run there from Austin, diving into the end zone. That made it 28-14 before halftime. The Cavemen would hang on. They improved to 6-0 on the year, 34-28 the final. An absolute thriller tonight in Vallivue. Nampa hosting Columbia as well, staying in the 4A SIC. At the 45-yard line, nice gain here from Nampa's Zafir Reyes. Later in the same drive, Bulldog quarterback Donovan Estrada. A threat to run it, a threat to throw it. This time using his legs, pushed out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Very next play, Estrada, he's going to fake the handoff. He runs it in for the touchdown like he always does week in and week out on Friday Night Football. All Bulldogs tonight, 56-6 the final. Staying in the 4A SIC, Bishop Kelly traveling on the road this evening, taking on Caldwell. We pick things up in the first quarter. BK's first drive, Bo Nelson throwing it here to Jefferson Silly. Jefferson with the first down yardage. Later in that drive, Ian Arlano up the middle for the tutty. BK goes ahead. They strike first, 7-zip. Later on, Caldwell's chance to try and get some points on the scoreboard, but they're picked off. Riley Lazama coming up with a fantastic play right there. We move along in the first quarter. Nelson on 3rd and long. He's going to take off with his feet, making defenders miss. He's got a lot of green in front of him. He would be knocked down at the 1-yard line. Very next play, Nelson would punch it in. He would take it in. BK, actually, I'm going to stick with this. A couple more highlights. Jackson Husky with the huge gain, and then 2 plays later, Husky punches it in himself. Bishop Kelly improves to 5-1 on the year, 49-zip the final. Middleton going on the road at Ridgeview tonight. The Vikes defense making plays here. Jake Vickhammer, all-name team, coming up with a sack for Middleton's defense. Offense going to work, almost intercepted here by Brian Thurgood. Nice play from the Ridgeview defense. A little bit later on, we're going to have a couple of other plays, I believe. This is a little pooch kick, nice return. Gotta love the contact. It's football. Gotta love it. And then later on, Middleton's offense, they put up a lot of points. We're going to show you some eventually. Right here, Dallas Hagler, nice gain here to Tyler Medeiros across the field. Later in the drive, we showed you Vic Hammer earlier in these highlights. Got the sack on defense. This time, finding his way into the end zone, up the cut for the touchdown run. Middleton puts up 80 points tonight. Yes, you heard me, 80. All Vikings, they take it 80-28 the final. Let's head on out to Weiser. Wolverines hosting Fruitland tonight. We pick things up in the first quarter. Fruitland on the option handoff to Zach Ziegler for an 8-yard gain. Same drive, Joe Hengler fumbles the handoff, and Tyler Pope recovers for Weiser. We move along, second quarter. Weiser driving, a little bit of a fake handoff. We stay with it. QB Brett Spencer, a tough run, nice gain of 8 yards there. Same drive, Spencer dialing it up, going to the air this time to Caleb Harris for the nice gain to move the chains. Later in the drive, Spencer, nice little fake. Another missed tackle, diving for the pylon. He would be ruled out at the 1-yard line, but very next play, he would punch it in. Weiser stays undefeated. They pick up the win tonight, 35-0 over Fruitland. All right, heading out to New Plymouth. Coal Valley on the road, taking on the Pilgrims. New Plymouth up 21-14 to start the second half. New Plymouth, short kickoff, run back by Jackson Barrett, who fumbles. Hop on the ball, who's got it? It's New Plymouth hopping on the ball. Same drive, handoff here to Kobe Roberts for the nice gain for the Pilgrims. And then later on this same drive, this is Cooper Wilson up the middle for the tough gain to move the chains. And then Roberts would eventually punch it in here off the fake. I believe Kobe's playing with a cast. Oh man, showing some toughness tonight. New Plymouth with a really nice home win. They take down Cole Valley 28-21 the final. All right, heading back to last night. Couple of games to show you. Payette on the road at Parma. We pick things up in the first quarter. Parma's Javier Albor intercepts it, and he's off to the races. A pick six for the Panthers. Nice play there from Javier. That makes it 14-0. Later in the first quarter, Parma's quarterback Joe Shaw connecting here with Isaiah Crone. He catches the ball, good for a first down. Few plays later, Shaw gonna connect with Crone again. This time, it's gonna be for a touchdown. Nice play there from Crone. That made it 20-0 Parma. They would end up taking this one. And then the big showdown last night over at Donna Larson Park. Borah taking on Capital. Always a battle when these two get together. We pick things up in the second quarter. Eagles up 14-7 with the ball. That's when Cameron Pruitt drops into coverage, comes up with a big INT, and the Lions are the ones who capitalize right before halftime. Austin Boldez offers from Boise State, Utah State, and I'm sure there's going to be more calling his numbers. Get off me, bro! Taking it in for the score. Borah missed the PAT, would go into the locker room down one. On to the third quarter we go. More from Bolt, just running over. That's a truck stick right there. Borah takes down Capital for the second year in a row. 42-35 the final. Without further ado, let's head on into the interview set. I'm joined now by the Borah Lions, coming off that big win last night over Capital, 42-35 the final. We got the hero right here, Austin Bolt. Austin, you had 44 carries, 289 rushing yards, and 6 touchdowns. Yes, all 6 touchdowns that Borah scored last night. This guy, he counted for him. So I'm going to start with this. How are you feeling today?
Pretty good.
Any ice bath, anything like that?
Not yet. I was probably going to do it after this.
Okay. Cramps or anything?
No.
You're good.
Yeah, I'm pretty solid.
I mean, if asked, could you have played tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably. Yeah.
I'm sure you probably could have. Fellas, congrats on the win. Let's go back to last night. Big Cam, you had the pick that we saw in those highlights. How big was that play to kind of swing the momentum around?
It was very big, especially getting the ball back in Austin's hands and letting him make plays on offense. Just helped us roll back into that game.
Sorry about that. Fellas, what was the key to your success last night against Capital?
He's pretty good at the football.
Yeah. Touche. Total team effort, though. When Capital and Borah play one another, I go back to last year. First round of the playoffs, a battle in that one. What was last night's game like? How physical? How much of a battle was it?
Oh, it was. I mean, it's always a fight when we play Capital. I mean, we hype it up. It's a big rivalry between us. It always has been. And I mean, when we play them, they come to play us. We come to play them. It's always going to be physical, and we always play hard. They play hard.
So getting back to Austin's performance last night. I'm curious. I have my thoughts on the performance and what impressed me most, but let's ask your teammates here. What were you most impressed by with his performance last night?
It's just so crazy watching him, how no one can tackle him. Like, we try in practice, but you can't get him in practice. Like,
how's that go?
He actually hurdled me in practice one time. It wasn't the best moment. So, I mean, just seeing him be so elusive and just his will to score and will to win, it's amazing.
How about for you?
I think the biggest part is we have so many option plays for Austin, and we'll run up the middle probably eight times in a row, and then all of a sudden he'll just break away. And it's not like they don't see it coming. They know the option's coming, but once he gets that breakaway, no one can catch him.
Isaac, I know you're on defense with him as well. I mean, he takes every snap at quarterback, runs the ball so much, but he's also out there on defense with you.
Yeah, and returns punts and kicks. I mean, we want him to get the ball. We give him the ball. Yeah, it's really crazy. I mean, a lot of us go both ways, but I mean, we all get tired. Austin really doesn't get that tired. It's incredible, but
Where does that come from?
his giant chest.
I don't know, probably just basketball and running the track and the 400s probably just keep me in really good shape and have a good motor.
So walk me through that. You won a state championship in the 400 hurdles last spring, right?
Yeah.
Was it 400?
The open 400.
Open 400.
Yeah.
And then how'd you guys do in basketball?
We won the state championship.
I think he's got his ring.
Let's see that bad boy.
Oh no!
Showing off the bling.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Do you have a track ring too?
No, I just have medals.
Okay.
Yeah, just
Okay.
first place medals.
Just medals.
So he is wearing a sweatshirt and he's trying to hide his bruises, and I can see one, and I want to show it off. Where's the one on your hand here? I just saw it.
This one? Or?
Look at that thing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I have a couple on right here and on my shin.
Wow.
Look at the battle scarf. Look at that raspberry. Can we zoom in on that potentially, camera? Oh man. So how are you walking today?
I mean, I got to skip my first period because it's weightlifting and our coach didn't have to show up. So I mean.
Shout out Coach Burton, right?
Yeah.
Is that Coach B?
It was one of them. Yeah, I was Burton that helped it out, but I mean, I was able to walk decent today. I was limping a little bit, but it's just, nothing serious. So.
Made it through.
Yeah.
Live to see another day. You pick up the rivalry win last night. Cam, I want to get back to you. Unsung hero of this bunch. You make plays on offense and defense week in and week out. And I'll ask the entire group this, but you go back to last season. You had guys like Ellis Magnuson. You had Jake at quarterback. I'm missing out on some other couple of standouts. But there were so many guys that you lost from last year's playoff team. What was the mindset for you guys? Because on the outside looking in, it was like, well, you only have 3 starters returning this fall. Borah doesn't have much experience. Might be a down year for the Lions. What was your guys' mindset, though?
Well, we kind of came in this year like just knowing that we got to carry over what happened last year. Like we got to keep that fight going, and I feel like we've proven that we can keep that fight going even without our quarterback, very good quarterback, Ellis Magnuson, Jacob Otterbinga, and Chase Nett and stuff. So
I mean, those are some studs that you just listed there. I mean, how'd you guys replace them? And you're off to a fantastic start.
Yeah, I think a huge part was just coaches helping motivate us. Like people, like obviously we only had 3 returning starters, and people kind of counted us out, and we didn't want that to happen because we know we can make plays and we can have a good season. And so we just tried to change that mentality of like, oh, we're looked at as a bad team, but we changed that and tried to be like, hey, like you think we're a bad team, but then we just shove it back in their faces. So
Absolutely. How about for you?
Yeah, coming into the season, I mean, we heard it from our coaches where it's like, we don't have these same guys. You guys are going to have to step up. And, I mean, coming from all of us, we were upset about that. And we wanted to come out and prove that we could all play too. And so we came out and we've had that chip on our shoulder all season, and we're going to carry it through to the end. So
Absolutely. Certainly are. Are you mic'd up?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get you in on the action. I'm sorry. I didn't want to forget about you, my man. What's been the key to just having a success with all that the success and experience that you lost last year?
I really think it's just an attitude this year. We kind of have an attitude that nobody's going to beat us and that we just have to stay Borah. You know, last year we were good, but we want to be good this year too.
The big fellas up front. I know we got some of you up here. How much do you guys just carry on your shoulders like, hey, we got to make holes for this guy, this guy, this guy? How much do you guys take pride?
Our coaches tell us that there is pressure on the O-line, but we know that we just got to do enough to get Austin, Cameron. You just got to get them enough to get a hole, get through there. So
Certainly did that last night. How much pride do you guys take when you look at Austin's numbers? You're like, yeah, I helped him doing that.
I have quite a bit of pride. Yesterday, our coach was saying that it's us. Like, you know, he doesn't go 289 or whatever it was without the O-line. So.
Yeah. Does Austin take you guys out for like dinner, breakfast?
Nobody should.
And when he does, I'm coming with. Yeah.
A lot of money.
Yeah, that is. You mentioned the coaching staff. Coach Burton, I don't know if there's another human being that walks this planet that has as much energy as he does. It's infectious. I know you guys feed off it. I feed off it on the sidelines, and I just hold the camera. What's it like playing for Coach Burton?
It's intense. We sometimes have to get like coached up about trying to be on his level of hypeness because he's just going, and like he won't ever let us get dull ever on the sidelines, even if we're up 20 points. If we're like end of the quarter, he still wants us to be hyped till the end, cheering on our teammates, making sure that no play goes by that we're not excited and showing pride.
Yeah, he like even at halftime when that's supposed to be your cool down moment, it's his heat up moment. He heats everyone up. He just gets everyone going. It's really good coming out in third quarter, and it keeps us pumped up for the third quarter.
Austin, what's your favorite thing about playing for Coach Burton?
I definitely feel like he acts like he's one of like us kids.
Yeah.
He's running around, jumping around, chest bumping everyone. Even at practice sometimes when we have a couple guys banged up, he goes out and plays linebacker and just starts running around, trash talking everyone.
I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah.
Without his pads?
Without his pads, he just comes flying in and just tags off and starts trash talking.
Trying to go back to his old days.
So I mean, just
I see you, Bert.
So just having that as a coach is really, just kind of feeds off his energy and just wants us to be like that hyped up and like that, have that energy on the field. Because I mean, if he's doing that just for us, I mean, we should be bringing the same energy for him.
It's infectious. Like, you guys actually feed off it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's not like a cliche. Like, it's like, all right, coach.
No, he brings it. He really does. I mean, one time we went into halftime, and it's like we weren't playing a great game, but instead of yelling at the players, he was yelling at the sideline for not being excited enough for when we did make plays. I mean, he's all over the place. I mean, he cares. I mean, obviously he cares about the game of football, but he cares so much about us being excited at all times.
So let's have some fun on this interview set. It's very rare that we have Rubik's Cubes on Friday Night Football. I understand Isaac has a little bit of a unique talent when it comes to Rubik's Cubes. Well, walk us through this, my man.
So when I was, I don't know, like 8 to 9 years old, my mom like bought us a Rubik's Cube. And it's like everyone has a Rubik's Cube or has seen a Rubik's Cube or played with one. And it's like you see it and you just think like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna figure it out. But it doesn't ever actually happen. And so one day my mom decided to she sat down, figured out how to solve it. And I mean, I'm very competitive and so is my brother. So me and my brother both learned after that. And then it became who can get the fastest time. And then it just became all about like learning the best, fastest way to solve it. And
Look at that!
it got to the point where
That
it's
is
like,
awesome.
you know how to solve it every time. It could be any scramble. Somebody could scramble it up for however long they want. You're gonna be able to solve it every single time. And so I just took it upon myself. I wanted to be the fastest, and it's like, so I would practice every single day. My fastest time I've ever gotten is 13 seconds.
13 seconds?
13 seconds.
So Cam, are you scrambling this right now? Yeah. Okay, well, before it gets back, I'm gonna run and get my iPhone. It's just right at the desk here real quick.
Man.
We're gonna time this.
Oh no. Fun. Now I'm on the spot.
Record breaking time right here.
If I get a new best, I'll freak out. Television, it freaks me out. Not NGL.
All right. We're having fun on Friday Night Football. We're talking football and Rubik's Cubes. Who doesn't love it? All right, so we got my iPhone timer here. Isaac, you feel like you can set a new record live on our KTVB YouTube page?
If I'm going to be honest with you, no, I don't.
Okay, that's okay. I won't blame you. All right, I'm genuinely curious how long this takes. All right, we're going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's go, Isaac.
It's got to focus, guys. This is awesome.
Joke.
This is insane.
Time.
Oh!
Yeah.
22
That hurts.
seconds. Oh my God!
It's been. Yeah, I was shaking. Not gonna lie. Camera's on you.
22 seconds. That was insane. That was more impressive than any touchdown or interception you've had this season.
I know.
Right?
I consider myself a better athlete than Austin. Can he do that? No, he can't.
Touche. That is so true. Oh, man, that's great. That's great. Who we got next week, guys?
Yeah,
Boise.
Boise.
The
Boise
Homecoming
and
game.
Borah. It's homecoming?
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's Boise-Borah. I mean,
It's a big rivalry too.
oldest rivalry in the state?
I think so.
Yeah. Oh, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. What's Spirit Week like at Borah High School?
Oh, it's crazy. We have
What do we got
Visco.
this
We have
week?
Visco Girl.
What's that?
It's like scrunchies, hydro flash, Dutch Bros. I mean,
It's just like the
Typical white
pack
tip-
for a typical like girl
High
in
school
this
girl.
century. That's what it is.
Okay, I am
let's-
clearly getting old because I don't know what you guys are talking about here.
and then we have, I think, is it pink out?
We
and
have
then
a frat out,
Frat out.
Frat.
camo out,
Camo out.
and then spirit out.
And then spirit
Yeah,
athlete
athlete
versus
versus athlete.
Athlete versus
Okay.
athlete.
And then spirit out.
Okay. Oh man, that'll be a blast, fellas. Enjoy it. As someone that's been in your shoes one day a long time ago. Shout out to Waukee High School class of 2007, senior year. I remember senior year homecoming like it was yesterday. It'll fly by. Soak it up, enjoy it, but also just have fun. Keep the ball rolling. It's been a blast to watch you guys. You guys are off to a fantastic start this year. Keep it rolling. We'll keep continuing to give John Anderson some love and get the smile on JA's face.
I think he might have more energy than Coach Byrne.
That is true.
Okay, that's the one guy.
Absolutely. Fellas, congratulations. Thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Rubik's Cube champion, Isaac Meter. That is going to do it for this week of Friday Night Football. If you missed any of the highlights or this interview, just head on over to our KTVB YouTube page, as well as streaming online over at ktvb.com. We will see you same time, same place next Friday night.